What's up, YouTube? This is Big Mike. All right, I want to give a shout out to a big time performer tonight. That would be James Harden of the Houston Rockets, who had a historic performance. He had a triple double. Um, he scored 50 points in the ball game. I think he had 50 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists. And with this performance, this is his fourth career game of scoring 50 points and also achieving a triple double, breaking a tie with Russell Westbrook, who has done it 3 times in his career, for most in the modern era since blocks have been tracked. And I always try to emphasize that because in reality, Wilt Chamberlain probably has this record by an astronomical amount. But they didn't count blocks, so there's that. But I remember looking at a lot of the sports media shows earlier today. Most of them didn't give Houston a chance. They mentioned how Houston has been sputtering as of late, which they have. Houston has been pretty bad. And they've been talking about how the Lakers have been looking like an elite team, a championship contending team, which I don't necessarily agree with. I don't think that the Lakers are on the level right as of right now, even though they have a good record. Coming into this game, they were 17-10, but I don't think they were on the level of, say, a Golden State or Toronto or Milwaukee or any of those clubs. And tonight they lost by the final score of 126-111. James Harden was 14 of 26 from the floor, only 4 of 12 from 3-point range. He didn't really exactly light it up from beyond the arc, but he was James Harden at the foul line. He was 18 and 19 from the foul line. I believe he had 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and 2 steals. And I think this kind of shut up also all of this noise about Alonzo Ball being an elite defender. He's a pretty good defender, but elite, I don't know about that. Also, speaking of Alonzo Ball, man, this guy is awful. All right, 3 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 6 from 3-point range. I don't know how many offers he's had from downtown, but it's ridiculous. All right, I do not understand why this guy's a starting NBA point guard. I don't get it. And it's not just the numbers. Numbers don't tell everything, but I mean, if you include tonight's performance, man, he's shooting only 38% from the floor. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that Jason Kidd wasn't a great shooter. He only shot 40% from the floor for his career, man. But Jason Kidd was 6'4", I think. All right. Lonzo is 6'6". Sometimes to me, he looks like he's 6'7". More athletic than Jason Kidd. He there's no excuse for him to be shooting at this futility. Only 30% from 3-point range. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, and I understand they're trying to like make excuses for him in the media. They say, well, he's just not an offensive point guard. He's a pass first point guard. But then, okay, but if you're a pass first point guard, right, you're mediocre in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand something. I don't understand how the media, for instance, will criticize Kyle Lowry for being inconsistent offensively, right? But never mind the fact that Kyle Lowry is like, 6 feet, 6'1", right? All right, they still attack Kyle Lowry for his inconsistent offense, but he leads the NBA in assists. All right? Kyle Lowry has become a pass-first point guard, and he's doing a damn good job about it. But they still find reasons to criticize him. But the media, for some reason, doesn't want to take off the gloves when it comes to Lonzo Ball. I don't understand it. But for every bad decision Russell Westbrook makes, they highlight it and talk about it. And then there's this perception that Russell Westbrook is this. Don't get me wrong, I know Russell Westbrook, isn't the perfect point guard, but I stick up for him a lot because I don't get it. I don't understand how he gets all of this criticism, but then Lonzo Ball just escapes. I don't understand it, man, but Lonzo Ball is awful. He's only a 48% career free throw shooter. 48%. Do you know, let's be honest, during the 80s, 90s, into the 2000s, the first point guard I remember vividly that was a bad free throw shooter that I can recall was starting was Rondo. I'm not saying there never were any bad free throw shooting point guards, but generally speaking, all the point guards I knew growing up always shot at least 70% or better, and that was low from the foul line. Some of your best free throw shooters on the team are usually point guards. Chauncey Billups, Mark Price, Calvin Murphy. You see what I'm saying? Generally speaking, Terrell Brandon. Generally speaking, your point guard is usually your best shooting, best pure shooters. This guy shoots 48% for his career from free throw range. That's worse than Shaq, man. Now I understand he doesn't get there a lot, but come on, man. That's awful. That's awful. He's not good enough to be an NBA starting point guard. I don't understand it, man. I don't get it. I really don't. But this isn't to just consistently bash him, man. James Harden, and the Houston Rockets, they are not a good team. This was a good performance. James Harden carried the offense for the Houston Rockets in the fourth quarter. But even though this is like a temporary shot in the arm because of this one great performance, James Harden's not going to score a 50-point triple-double every game. And they have a lot of problems. All right? Defensively, they're not a good club. And they're still only 13-14 for the season. And this team, the way it is constructed now, I agree with Charles Barkley 100%. The way this team is constructed right now, I don't think they're a playoff team. And if somehow they were to sneak in the playoffs, they'd be out in the first round. They've deteriorated that much as a team. The Lakers, they dropped to 17-11. LeBron James was still, if I sound a little hoarse, man, my voice is it's giving me some trouble right now, but LeBron James was LeBron James tonight. He had a good game. To me, man, I agree with Ticket TV on this, man. The second best player on this club has emerged to become Kyle Kuzma. Some of these other guys, I like Brandon Ingram, but to me, his game, it's too close. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying he has the skill set of LeBron, but his skills don't mesh well with LeBron. You know what I mean? It was kind of like the same thing that happened with LeBron and Wiggins. High usage rate swingmen, they don't really work well with LeBron. You know what I mean? I think Kyle Kuzma is a guy that is good for this club, but I think you need to get rid of in my opinion, need to get rid of Brandon Ingram, and damn sure need to get rid of Lonzo Ball for this club to improve via trade exponentially. I think they would. At this point in time, I think the Lakers would be best pressed to focus on getting a guy like Anthony Davis. He's shown interest in playing with the Lakers. I don't think Kevin Durant has any interest in playing with LeBron. If what I'm hearing and reading is true, I don't think Kawhi Leonard wants to play with LeBron James. So that's that with that situation. But tell me what you guys think about this game and anything I talked about tonight.